This is meteorologist Steve Nelson with the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia, with your weekly weather briefing for the 7-day period starting July 25th. Here are the highlights for the week ahead. The moist pattern we are currently experiencing will continue through at least Tuesday with abundant afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms and below normal daytime temperatures. Drier conditions and warmer temperatures are expected Wednesday and Thursday. Long-term drought conditions continue in spite of recent rainfall. Tropical activity in the Atlantic Basin is not expected through Tuesday, and slightly above normal temperatures and near normal rainfall are expected on days 8 through 14, which is August 2nd through the 8th. So here's what it looks like from above in outer space on top of the region. You can see the abundant moisture with colors of blue and green and some white. In this case, the drier air is off to the northwest with the yellow colors. This is a 24-hour animation that kind of typifies what we've seen the last several days with lots of clouds, lots of moisture, lots of showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening. This is expected to continue for the next several days. How wet is it? Well, pretty wet. According to the data from the morning soundings, the weather balloons that we launch every day around 7 a.m., it's about 116% of normal. That's if you took all the water in the atmosphere and condensed that down, you would have about 1.88 inches of liquid moisture, and that's mostly in the form of water vapor. That 116% of normal is actually near the 80th percentile, so it's not unusual to get this much moisture in late July. Looking at the forecast map for Friday, this is valid Friday evening, but it kind of best shows what the thunderstorms will look like during the afternoon as well. Lots of rain over that same area we were kind of looking at on the satellite image just a minute ago. Very moist air mass is expected to remain in place with that stationary front over the Carolinas and North Georgia kind of meandering through the central U.S. Those features are not really going to move much in the next 24 to 72 hours, to be honest. Below normal daytime temperatures are still expected for Friday. When you put it together, you see high temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s. We should be in the mid-90s around this time of year. Rainfall chances 40% to about 60% in north and central Georgia, with higher probabilities along southern and eastern Georgia. As you can expect with this kind of pattern, we really don't get a lot of tremendous instability that's needed for more organized severe weather. The flow aloft is also very weak, so the Storm Prediction Center has an outlook for tomorrow of just general thunderstorms. That's a 0 on the category scale from 0 to 5. The Weather Prediction Center looks at excessive rainfall, and the green color does indicate marginal risk, with some slight risk of higher excessive rainfall leading to flooding off to the east. Looking further out into the forecast for this weekend and into middle of next week, the rainy pattern will continue Saturday and Sunday as well, even though the green coloring is not indicated on any of the forecast maps after Saturday. The front you can see on Sunday is kind of drifting around. It may be in southern Georgia and Alabama and pushing a little bit to the south and west on Monday and Tuesday, but unfortunately the flow aloft is really not changing much. We should be in a moist pattern through this entire period, and it's not until we see some drying aloft Wednesday and Thursday with that troughiness, those dashed lines you see in the Appalachians, the East Coast on Wednesday and Thursday. Those are more indicative of stronger west winds and drying flow, and the high pressure pushing off to the south a little bit. And when you boil it down to the numbers, you'll see that these below normal temperatures are still expected through at least Tuesday. Before the warming, we get closer to normal on Wednesday and Thursdays with highs from 90 to 95. You put in that with the increased low-level moisture, and you'll see the heat index forecasts, which are still in the 90s right now, will go closer to 100 to 105, like we were experiencing a few weeks ago. And here's a quick way to summarize the rain chances continuing through Tuesday. These darker green colors in the table on the left indicate chances of rain very likely, with many values of 60 to 70, even 80% expected all through the weekend into Monday and Tuesday. What you see today and the last few days is probably expected to continue through this time period. It's not until Wednesday and especially Thursday, Friday, we see those rain chances going down. So the main threats we're really expecting for the rest of the week is this chance for heavy localized rainfall. Most areas are going to see 1 to 2 inches through Wednesday, but we want people to prepare for up to 4 inches, possibly more, in those other areas. This graph kind of indicates a reasonable worst case total rainfall on the left through Wednesday morning. Total amounts could approach 4 inches just about anywhere. There's no one particular area of the state or part of the country to focus in on this. And with the chances for excessive rainfall, we see the green category continuing, even a little bit of a slight risk on Sunday. Looking further out into the forecast for the 8 to 14 day period, valid August 1st through 7th, back to school. Above normal temperatures are expected. The chart on the left shows this over a vast part of the continental U.S. A little bit less there in the southern states, but we'll keep monitoring that. I would expect a little bit above normal temperatures with this pattern. 8 to 14 day precip outlook is going to be near normal. The latest drought monitor shows drought conditions continue over much of north and central Georgia. Many areas remain in moderate to severe drought conditions. So you might be wondering, why is this still showing this when we've had quite a bit of rain in some spots over the last 7 days, maybe longer in some places? The answer for this is really because in general, summertime rainfall is not widespread enough. It may cover one or two small areas with a good amount of rain, but it just doesn't cover large parts of the state like we need. And it doesn't last as long. These heavy rains often fall in a very short duration, which doesn't really have time to soak into the soil. When rainfall is that intense, it usually runs off into creeks and streams. It doesn't recharge the soil in the long-term water storage to relieve the drought conditions. So anyway, we'll have to keep monitoring this. If we have some dry conditions that are prolonged, we may see worse drought conditions, but just keep monitoring and we'll let you know how this progresses as we move through the summer. Good news for the tropical outlook for the next 7 days. We're not expecting any tropical cyclone activity. Keep in mind that we're still expecting an above average season and that the peak of hurricane season is not until early to even mid-September. So if you look at the chart on the bottom right, you can see that where it says you are here, we're not even into August 1st when it really starts cranking up. The Atlantic Basin gets all the ingredients together, and historically over that time period, which was over 80 years almost, that hurricane frequency really doesn't kick in until August and peaks in September. So please keep abreast and we'll keep monitoring this for you. So to recap, that moist pattern we're experiencing will continue through at least Tuesday. Drier conditions are looking more likely for Wednesday through Thursday with some warmer temperatures. Long-term drought conditions continue in spite of recent rainfall. Tropical activity is not expected in the Atlantic Basin through Tuesday. And slightly above normal temperatures and near normal rainfall is expected on days 8 through 14, August 1st through the 7th. That's it for this briefing. If you have any questions, please give us a holler. We'll see you next week.